Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up the month of April in our planners. Got this washi tape here ready to go, as well as these sticker books which I'll pull from. Okay, so for this month's theme I wanted to do something springy and floral, so I decided that I was going to use the pressed floral sticker book that I just picked up and kind of maybe do a collage of florals there on the spread. I wasn't sure I was going to pick up this book actually. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I started to see a lot of cute spreads out there using these florals, so I thought I'd try it and see if I ended up liking it, which I did actually. Once I got this spread done, I kind of saw some potential here for me to use it around in my spreads. So I've laid down some wax paper and I'm going to go ahead and start laying things down, try things out. My idea is to do some sort of a border maybe along all sides or maybe just on two sides. So I'm going to start laying down some stickers kind of in the same color scheme, and then I plan on working towards almost like a gradient of color with the florals. So we'll see what I have here. I haven't really perused this book very much, so I'm not real familiar with what's all in there. So I kind of go back and forth, and I do have to make some adjustments as I go because I realized I have more florals in different areas that I could use to really get that gradient effect going with the color scheme. One thing I noticed on this book is that a lot of the florals are paper stickers. They're not clear stickers, which you guys know how I feel about paper stickers versus clear. I really think that clear stickers are easier to layer and just kind of group together into chunks of decor. Paper stickers are a lot harder to layer just because of that white outline on all of the stickers. It just kind of ruins the effect in some ways. But since these are all pretty much paper stickers except for one sheet, which is something to know if you haven't picked up the sticker book, there's only really one sheet, I think, of clear stickers. But because of that, I'm going to try to just butt them up real close to each other but not overlap the florals as much as possible so that nothing's really being covered up, but you can still see that they're connected, or, you know, kind of create that form of connection as close as possible without actually covering anything up. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going in kind of seeing what I have. Not too familiar with what's in here, so just grabbing the right color scheme and realizing, oh, there's more in different colors that maybe I want to put near the top or in between different colors. I'm kind of figuring that out as I go, so it takes a little bit for me to work this out and kind of get the right color scheme going. Also too, I'm trying to use smaller stickers here because I started working towards two side borders of florals going down the edges of the spread. And of course Saturday I do want to have room to write in something, but Saturday is usually a pretty low-key day for me, so I don't usually have too much going on Saturday, and that should be fine. I should still have enough to write in a little memory for each one of those days, even though half the day or so is pretty much covered by florals. I am sticking towards smaller florals there on the right hand side and then going a little bit bigger on the left hand side since I have a little more room there in the sidebar. So now I'm just kind of flipping through trying to see what colors I can bring in after I've gradiated down to this white tone. I think I'll start picking up the cooler tones here below that, but I just want to see what we have here and try to nestle some things in. I think what I want to do is have kind of white be the breaking point and then goes into like pinks, purples maybe, and then all the way down to blue if I can fit it, but there's not a lot of blue, so we'll see how that all plays out. And if this is your first video with me or you haven't seen a monthly from me in 2021, I'm using my monthly layouts for memory keeping this year. So basically I'm just either writing in something that happened each day or doodling in like a little moment from the day so that I can kind of keep the days from blending into each other and just keep track of how life is going. I don't do much memory keeping. I like to keep things simple. I do a lot of planning, but I don't really have a lot of time for memory keeping. So this is a way for me to just kind of add that little bit of it to my planner, but without too much commitment. So I am working over here on the right-hand side, trying to get a nice gradient of color going down. And like I said, kind of pinks to purples. Decided to just eliminate the blue because there really just wasn't enough of the blue to make it work. That bluish purple, almost indigo color is probably about as blue as it's going to get. But I think that really works with the color scheme. I didn't want it to be too cluttered with color too. Sometimes when you do a rainbow and you just try to fit too much into one space, it just ends up looking too clustery. So eliminating that and trying to clean up the colors a little bit, keeping them more in the warm cools down here at the bottom, keeps everything tied together. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in those kind of like empty start off boxes and end boxes for the month. That's usually a nice place to put a little extra decor, so just trying out maybe these strips from the Pressed Floral sticker book. And maybe some washi. Not real sure if I want to use washi yet on here. I have this nice fine dot pattern that I thought I would pull in, which could be cute, but I am going to be writing in every box, and I usually just use black ink, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to have that much extra onto the spread as far as that fine dot pattern, so we'll see what I decide. What I did decide to do is to pull in some colorful boxes from that Pressed Floral sticker book. Thought that would be a nice way to add a little extra color in and around the spread so that I would, still be able to write on it, still keep it functional, but have a little extra color spread around. So I'm varying which boxes I'm using. I kind of want to use 2 bigger boxes, as you can see down there, and then maybe a couple of half-size boxes. But I'm trying to get the colors to align with how they are on the flow of the spread. So like the first week would be more in the reds, second week would be more in the yellows, and so on and so forth down to the like purples in the bottom. So I'm just trying to figure out what works best and how I can align it, and also keep that variety of large boxes and small boxes so it looks random, so it doesn't look like I specifically put something together like a bunch of big boxes in one spot. It's just how I like to do things. I like that balance feel. It's a small thing, but I think that it makes a difference overall in the way that the spread comes across. So now I'm into the Happy Plan sticker book, which is the other book I pulled for this layout. And I'm just trying to see if there's any quotes or things I want to pull in here at the top for those empty boxes. And I thought maybe these long quotes would be a good way to introduce a little more color, but also be a little bit more low-key, not too much clutter up there, since there is so much going on the sides. And I did leave the very bottom part on the right-hand side empty because I'm going to trim off the left-hand side, and I'm going to reuse that darker purple trimming on the right. So I'm getting ready to slide these stickers off of the wax paper, and basically just using my little slide off technique. Since the stickers are actually touching where the white borders meet, it actually came off real clean, which was nice. I got the idea to try to trim off the florals all with my cutter tool, but I got smart and didn't do that on the second side. The first side went okay, but I ended up trimming in a little bit too close to the page, so there is a little bit of white showing near the top, which I wasn't happy about, but I couldn't really fix it, so I just left it as is. But on the right hand side I just used scissors, and that worked out a lot better, or on the left hand side. And yeah, here's where I was trying to fix it, trying to lift up the sticker, but it was already stuck down pretty good, so I decided to leave it. And then I'm just doing a little trim up with the scissors where I didn't cut close enough to the page. So like I said, the technique really wasn't as good as I'd hoped to get what I wanted out of the spread. And now I am laying down those boxes here on the spread. And then also going to move over those florals from the wax paper. I'm going to try that same technique as far as sliding the flowers off. And I want a little bit less smooth here, but still much easier than moving them over manually. And just kind of tap them down, make sure that they were stuck down before I trimmed. And yeah, so here I just turned the page over so I could see the edge of the paper. It's a little easier to do this when you have clear stickers because you can see through the sticker, but just flipping the page over and then trimming made it fairly easy. And I'm saving those trimmings in case I can reuse them here on the spread somewhere. So just putting them on the wax paper for safekeeping till I can lay out everything onto the spread. And here is where I put in that darker clipping of the indigo floral, and am now moving in some other little elements that I trimmed off to fill in the space. And let's see, maybe a few more items up here. I really kind of wanted to reuse this big piece of like true purple floral, but I wasn't real sure if I could get it to fit in. Kind of felt bad wasting the other part of that floral. Once you cut it twice, like you can cut it in half, but once you cut a sticker twice, it's really hard to reincorporate that back into another spread. So I did feel bad about that since it was a nice big sticker, but I did want to have a little bit more punch there down at the bottom. And again here at the top, trying to reuse some of those clippings. Just get that feel like it's all along the border, get a balance going. And I think that's going to have to do as far as using the clippings. I'll save the rest for later. And I'm going to go ahead and white out those boxes at the front of the month so that it's a nice clean look as I put in the quotes. I'm also going to see if I want to put in some washi tape, but I think I'll just stick with what I had there on the sheet. And then once I lay down these quotes here, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!